Liverpool's midfield crisis is really kicking on, Buvey?
It's a massive crisis. It's an international palaver, I've heard. It's all over BBC News, the main channel.
Well, they have signed new midfielders. Like, you know, when we talk about the crisis of Liverpool's midfield, and don't get me wrong, I understand losing Milner, Fabinho, Keita, Henderson, all in the same summer would be troublesome. It would be problematic.
Yeah.
But especially when you think about, was it a year ago? I remember when Jurgen Klopp was interviewed and he listed all of his midfielders. He listed about 9. And you're like, what don't I have? Tell me what I don't have to say that I need midfielders.
Yeah.
But this is an exodus. Like, you would never want to lose. Hang on, let's make sure we're getting them all in here. James Milner, Naby Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain,
Carvalho, French on loan.
Yeah, okay. Fabinho,
Saudi Arabia. Henderson, Saudi Arabia.
I feel like there's more. I feel like we're missing somebody. Thiago Alcantara's still there, isn't he?
Yeah, I think Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, still kicking about.
Okay, so
it sounds about right to me. So it's what, 5 or 6? My initial reaction is, right, James Milner, fantastic servant. He wasn't taking Liverpool on to new frontiers, was he? He was just kicking about. Fine, fantastic. But not a bad way.
Kicking about.
He's a utility player.
Yeah, no, I just like the expression.
He's kicking about, wasn't he? Messing about. Naby Keita was shocking. He had knees made of Weetabix, so he wasn't kicking the club on. Oxlade-Chamberlain, same. Mm-hmm. So whatever you say about their application, fantastic players. They didn't take Liverpool forward. Now they've replaced him with Alexis McAllister, and Szoboszlai, a very exciting young player. That is fantastic for Liverpool.
It's only fantastic if you keep Jordan Henderson, though, or Fabinho. Because a midfield of Szoboszlai, McAllister, Fabinho, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Henderson works. Not only because of what Henderson brings to the team, not only because of what Fabinho brings to the team, but because of who they are, what they represent, and what the standards are. They know what Liverpool's standards are.
Yeah.
They demand the best from themselves, from everyone around them. You need players like that. Because I don't think that you should ever start a season. Like, there should be a continuity thing. Like, what you should be able to do, and things are going well, would be to trace back somebody. So this guy played with this guy. This guy played with this guy.
Yep.
And ultimately, you'll go back to day dot.
Yeah.
You know, like, you could, if you were to really trace it through now, it's hard at Chelsea now. But up until recently, you could have easily gone, you know, John Terry played with Dennis Wise, played with Rudiger, and it back, right? Until it gets, John Terry was cleaning Kerry Dixon's boots, and you can go right back. Because the standards will be passed down generation to generation, and they'll be maintained. You don't really ever want a situation where you are starting 3 brand new midfielders in a new season.
But they might have to do that. The more I look at Liverpool's financial context, they don't have the choice. If they're competing with City, if they're competing with Chelsea, who've just spent 100 million quid on Enzo Fernandez, Rice to Arsenal. What if they want to get Tchouaméni? Let's just say that's an option. Or someone Henderson's not world class, nor is Fabinho. He had a terrible season. What if they're trying to find a solution, and the only way they can do that is by uprooting in the spine of what you're talking about? You are bang on.
But the solution
they don't have the money up front to say, let's keep Henderson, even though we've got an offer of 15 million quid, which is unbelievable money.
The solution can't be this. It can't be that day one of the season, we're playing us actually, but it can't be that they line up against Chelsea and the midfield is Lavia, Szoboszlai, McAllister. They're brand new.
Yeah, but the front three's still there. Front three's very, very dangerous.
So what, you think the standards will be set by Alisson, Robertson,
I think
Trent.
your comment's right about City. I think if we lost De Bruyne, Gundogan, if we lost Rodri all in the same summer,
I think you're making mistakes, by the way.
But we can get around to that. I think you're right. But Liverpool, their midfield is more of a passenger midfield for me. Their midfield allows the front 3 to execute, so they cover ground. So for me, as long as McAllister comes in, he's fit, and he's as fit as James Milner was, and same with Dominic Szoboszlai, same with whoever else comes into Liverpool, as long as their fitness is there, they're able to service Núñez, service Salah by working hard off the ball. I don't think they're a million miles off.
Yeah, look, I think he's clearly a very, very good manager, but I think Liverpool are going to have a good year because I rate him as a manager. But this is tough, mate. This is a really tough year for Liverpool. I think they're going to do very well. Don't get me wrong. I think they'll be back in the Champions League. I think they'll be competing at the top of the league. But the only reason they will be competing at the very top is because of how good their manager is, because this isn't ideal. You don't really want a situation where you are starting brand new players like this.
No, 100%. Let's talk about Lavia, who is absolutely exceptional for Southampton. Liverpool have bid 37 million quid for him, which is incredible when you think about it. You know, Southampton only spending, 10 million quid season prior from City's academy. What do you think of that?
I think Lavia would be a very good signing for them. I think, you know, he's one of the most prestigious talents around, isn't he? He's like the guy. You know, if you're a team with midfield issues, Liverpool, Chelsea, everybody's saying Lavia is an option. He's an option. He might not be the best option, he might not be the only option, but he's certainly a player that could do a job. My worry for Liverpool isn't about how good Lavia is, and the fact that bid has been turned down. I imagine that Liverpool will easily up that bid, and if they want to get hold of him, they will. But I just think if the fact that they've just put a bid in for him, it says to me that Fabinho's deal will go through because there's been a snag, hasn't there? And it also makes me think that Jordan Henderson will go. I think that's really bad. I do. I think it's really bad for Liverpool. To lose Fabinho and Henderson, two of the best midfielders for a generation. Yeah. They are icons of a dominant Liverpool era. Probably the best Liverpool team that we've ever seen. And I mean even the teams that were winning like back-to-back European Cups. Yeah. This is the best team. Not the most successful, but the best team. I just don't think you lose them both at the same time.
The only thing, Fabinho's season, he was shocking last season. I don't mind that one. Henderson is more of an icon, and that's a strange one. Lavia, he's got the capacity to be world-class. I think he's unbelievable. I think he's unreal.
Do you not think he would benefit from having Jordan Henderson around?
1,000,000%. But again, I take into the context that Liverpool, if they get 52 million quid for Henderson and Fabinho at their ages, at the back end of their careers, and then they can gamble. It will be a gamble. You're spot on about the whole legacy thing. You're 1,000,000% right. But I'd back that. I'd back Lavia, McAllister, Szoboszlai in midfield with Salah up front that remains consistent from what Liverpool have been doing.
When you say back it, what do you mean here? Because I think people have been saying that they could be contenders again. Yeah. Do you think that Liverpool can compete for the league?
Yeah, in the right context. And that depends how they treat Europe.
You don't think their squad's going to be too small?
No, if they get a couple through the door, they've got a great academy, they've got a few players coming through in that regard as well. If they focus on the league in the right way, if Arsenal were in the Europa League last season and they were competing for 247 days at the top of the table, this Liverpool side is way better than that Arsenal side. In my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm more experienced and a better manager.
I agree with all of the above. Another Achilles heel, though, for them last year. So if you think they can compete next year, they're going to have to right the wrong of their defence. Something went wrong back there, didn't it, last year? Like, there wasn't a partnership, there wasn't harmony at the back. Trent Alexander-Arnold is now a midfielder, so what goes on at the back? Do you actually think that the defence will be able to cope with the title challenge?
If Lavia is in there, the way he covers ground, yes. I think if they give Trent that licence to tuck in, and he can overload the midfield, then yeah. Let's be real. Everyone copies people that do great things in sport or whatever aspects of life, it gets copied. And the City system, the Arsenal system, it's being copied. So if Liverpool do it, they got a great chance of succeeding with it. If they just say to Robertson, you don't bomb on as much, Trent can be the one that tucks in and bombs a little bit more forward on the ball, be more adventurous, how he sprays balls around. Then suddenly they've got Konate's a fantastic centre-back. They've got the best keeper in the world for a lot of people. And Van Dijk, if they protect him with Lavia's legs in front of him, I don't think they're a million miles off.
Off a title challenge. Yeah. So when you think about their season last year, you think about how many points they were behind the eventual winners. You think that is that not insurmountable in 1 year for them?
No, because I think City could fall off. If City fall off, and
that's interesting. I think there's
there's a reason no one's won 4 in a row in the Premier League. There is a reason, and there's a lot of players leaving. Any major injury to any of the big players for City, and we've had that before when Laporte got injured. Liverpool won the Premier League title. So stranger things have happened for sure.